Hi, this is Lucy, and today I'm going to show you how to build the Skyline Valley Farmhouse. You do not need any special equipment to build this house. I have, however, put a valley in the roof and I destroyed 2 roofs to do it. If you don't have a flamer trap or a friend in PvP, I can show you an alternative way of doing the roof. If this is something that you are interested in, please stay tuned. So I'm going to start with a quick tour. Obviously we are in Skyline Valley, hence the Skyline Valley Farmhouse. We are down on the right by the West Virginia sign near Shining Creek Cavern. Vault 96 is down here. If you don't have a jetpack or fall damage on your armour and you've come down over here and there's a huge cliff, be aware that you can actually walk straight down from Vault 96 without having to jump off any cliffs. I was just curious. A friend and I tried to find a route for low level players. So, I was kind of going for a European farmhouse style. Obviously the weather's not too bad here, but that is because A, I'm on a custom world, but when I'm not in a custom world I have my nice weather machine out, so it might be a bit duller if you are here. Obviously there's a wood resource here. I did make a bit of a boo-boo here, which I'm hoping to rectify when I rebuild it. I left space at the back when I put my camp widget down for the machine, so not realising that the widget, the resource extractor went in the front of it, so I'm planning to move it forward slightly so that I have access to the water. Not sure if I'll quite make it, we'll see. So we have this garden here with some crops. These are catwalks. For every one of you that does not have catwalks, you currently have catwalks. Under catwalks you will see this Fortress catwalk set. I have not bought it. And you do not have to have catwalks unlocked to be able to access this. Whether this is permanent or a mistake on Bethesda's part, we're assuming the latter. But for the time being, you have these catwalks. So what I would suggest you do is that you place some of these and store them in your build menu. And you do it on all of your camps in case they take them away. I did actually this morning log in on another account that doesn't have Fallout First, doesn't have catwalks. I was able to use these catwalks. My friend noticed this the other day. This tree stump is a chair. I did not put this here. It was here in this place. I don't know if there are any others around, but it's a nice little addition to the camp. Obviously we have this large covered workshop. If I wasn't putting a workshop here, I would probably turn it into an outdoor dining area. And maybe if you don't want crops or any of the other stuff, you could build, there's enough space to build a standalone workshop on the side. These are Helvetia signs that I've doubled up to make shutters. I did put a video out recently showing how an easy way to create these front to front blueprints of wall objects. I've kind of gone for a kind of eclectic country kind of vibe, I suppose. No particular theme really. I found this clean red plate somewhere. I don't know where. If anyone knows where I found this, please let me know. because I haven't been able to find another one. I'd like a set. This is perfectly preserved pie. You do not have to get that out of the machine. If you don't know, there is one on the roof at the back of the building. There is a skeleton sitting in a lawn chair. There is one at their feet. I think it's a she actually, but don't quote me on that. I used the wooden bar set to create the kitchen because I thought it looked a bit more rustic. This is Audrey's book on a chessboard. Once you finish the quest down here, this will stay in your miscellaneous items, and we have a book. Hallelujah. This painting comes from one of the quests down here. It's Cassidy's favourite painting. I like it. It's sort of, I think it's supposed to be New Orleans or Norleans. Obviously, oh, my wine's all disappeared again. This is my wine rack. Can't be a European farmer without a wine rack. So, I struggled with where to put the bathroom. I ended up just sticking it on an extension on the side of the building. It's fairly basic. I have used the offset stairs to create this so that we could get a staircase in here. You can use a stair frame if you want, but I would suggest that you put all the walls on first. We'll talk more about that later when I build it. Right, this is the study. I put my tea machine up here because I didn't want it downstairs in the kitchen. There wasn't enough space, and we keep being asked to drink tea. Although you can always go and do Sweetwater's daily and he will give you tea if you do not have this. I have a newspaper, and this is a treasure map, but it's not the normal treasure map. Unfortunately, I don't have another one in my inventory to show you what kind of treasure map it is, but have a look under notes for kind of paperwork. This is my very small totem pole. There is a treasure hunt. If you go down to Camp Liberty and have a look at the notice boards, you will see, and it's up here somewhere. I think it's slightly to the left of there. You will find some rocks with scout badges on them, and yeah, it's in a tree stump there. I did manage to get some clothing into this dresser. The only actual item of clothing I could get on a chessboard was the Mistress of Mysteries dress. The only other things were hats. So if you haven't seen this, they are on corpses all over the place. There's one at Charleston Fire Station. It's the one I always remember. I did originally put the bed in the middle, but because of the curtains, it was really difficult to get in and out of the bed, so I've kind of offset the bed slightly. We have this balcony. This is the Helvetia door. Now, normally I get my external doors to open inwards, but as you can see, there would be a conflict with this door. So I have got it opening outwards. Got a few plants and table and chairs out here. So I really like this build. I would really like. Maybe I'll take the workshop out. If I keep this, take the workshop out and make that into an outdoor eating area. But we'll see. Anyway, I will now show you how I built it. So I'm going to move my camp widget, and it's kind of, to a certain extent, it's a bit of guesstimation with this because you can't go into build camera mode to see. I am wondering if the, right, if you want to come this way, about here, I can just see the green line on the woodpile. I'm going to quickly see if I can get the resource on. And the answer is yes. So that's fine. Did we make it to the water? Oh, so close. So it doesn't look like you can get to the water unless you want to. But it's closer. I can move the canoe a bit closer. I'm going to stick my turret down because the enemies here are quite tough. I'm going to start placing the foundations at the back. Now you have to be careful because where I placed the house, it's kind of on a bump. This area looks sort of flat, but it's not. I'm going to try and line this up with this resource just so the house is square to the... But be aware that we might need to raise these foundations. See here, they're very low. Now I had an awful problem with stuff coming through. So even though I used confetti, I even had a tree coming through at one point. Even though I used confetti, I am going to do this. And just raise them up a bit at the front so we don't have that problem. It does mean they're a lot higher at the back. It doesn't matter whether you use wood or the cement ones. I think I used the cement ones. Right, I think it's a bit close here at the back, so I'm going to take these last two off and put two at the front. So this is kind of the kitchen sitting room. It is 2 by 4. Basically this whole build is just multiples of 2 by 2s. So we have a 2 by 2 here, we have a 2 by 2 here. This is again too wide. That is the workshop, and then we have 2 here for the porch. The bathroom was here, and I have a tree stump in the way. So we might have to go one this way, like so. I mean, there are always going to be things in the world that are going to interfere with your builds. If you want cement foundations, just convert these to cement. It's up to you, whichever way you want to do it. So this is the floor layout. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Plus that one for the bathroom. Now, if you want to use the offset stair that I use, you have a few choices. You can use a catwalk because at the time of recording, you have a catwalk. It is going to go here. I'm going to take this off for now. You'll see why in a minute. It's going to go here. We're going to put a half catwalk and add a staircase. Now, you won't get the staircase over this one, so we'll move that out of the way. And just attach a staircase. Remove the catwalk. Place the floor back. And then you have this offset staircase. And the reason you want this offset staircase is staircases take up 3 foundation widths. If you do it this way, you can get a staircase in a 2 by 2 or a 1 by 2. Now, if you do not have catwalks, because Bethesda have realised they've made a huge error and taken that out of the build menu. So I've had a tree pop up because I logged off and logged back on. So if this happens to you, temporarily put a foundation over it. We'll put a stone or something over it at the end. Right. So if you don't want to use catwalks, what are the alternatives? You can use a stair frame, as I said, or the other thing is you can use a blueprint. I will put a link down below. It will create a 2 by 2 staircase. So first of all, it is going to go here. It will be when we place this, it will turn into 2 foundations because of the magic power of flipping. So we would ideally want to snap it. Now, we want the staircase to be half a foundation away from the foundation on the right. So we need to offset this foundation here by a half. And the easiest way to do this if you don't have catwalks is just to staircase, half floor, staircase down, and a foundation. We're going to put it on the bottom on the right, so you can see you have this half foundation gap. Take the staircase and the upper floor off, move these down, and we are going to be snapping our blueprint to this green foundation. We need to take these off, and the other thing we will need to do is we will need to take these off so that we don't have anything snapping to that. Making sure you're getting your foundations the right way. Yeah, see that foundation on the right, we want to flip it in. If we place this like this now, that foundation will stick to this foundation, so we need to take that one out. So there we go, it flipped. You have a staircase in the correct place. Might not look it, but we'll move that one back. There, 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 and there. That is my temporary tree cover. Now, be aware that if you're going to be using a repeating pattern, which I probably am, and I think I'm going to remake this with it the other way because it's always the wrong way. The pattern's going the wrong way. So I am going to quickly turn all of these foundations around. Right, they're all going in the same direction now. I'm going to take these walls off. Now we need to add walls to our building. I'm going to build, because it's not double walled, I'm just going to build this with the Firewatch set. Window, window. Can't remember. I think there's no... There is a window here somewhere. Right. We'll figure it out as we go. These are all plain walls. This one we're going to put a doorway in because we will be putting the bathroom on there. I didn't obviously do it now if we're offsetting this and putting this staircase in. I'll put another window there for now. This is the back of the crafting area. So these are going to go on like that, just 3 plain. I put another window here, I put a doorway here, and I'm going to put doorways here. You will see why in a minute. So that is the main sort of sitting area. This is part of the workshop. We can put on the upper floors now. As I said before, if you're putting a stair frame in, make sure you've got all the walls on first. So just to stack the walls on top of each other. The reason being that sometimes the stair frame will not go in, and also worth bearing in mind that if you ever want to take a stair frame out, you will also have the problem of it not coming out without you taking the walls off. Which is one of the reasons I don't like using them. So this is the upper floor plan. Right. Back to our walls. The reason I did originally put a window in here, but I couldn't get a blind on with these upper floors on because of this half floor. It didn't like it, so I took that window out. That is a window. There are 2 windows in the bedroom and one at the front, bearing in mind that this is the balcony, so the room is here. This is a doorway. This is going to be a plain wall, but we're putting a doorway in. You'll see why in a second. Because we've got our upper floors on, we can just put our walls like that. And we also need a plain wall on the end. Right, top wall arches. Now, if you do not have the pavilion set, just put a wall in here temporarily. Or just put another brick wall in if you can't get the top wall arch off, because we need to put a top wall arch in there. I'm going to put these on. You can use fences and pillars. I will show you how in a second if you don't know. The reason I made some of these doorways upstairs, I mean obviously this is a doorway because you want to go in and out of it, is to get the plaster on both sides of the wall. We are going to double wall this, just using 2 doorways over a foundation. Now we cannot double wall upstairs until we have double walled downstairs, and this is not a huge trick. Basically this wall is attached to this foundation, this wall is attached to this foundation, but it only works when you use doorways, and not all build sets will do it. This Firewatch set, or Fire Hazard even, is actually a reskin of the brick set. So it works with the brick set, it works with the barn set. It does not work with the very basic wood set, the first set that you get. It does not work with this set. But if you want to use this set, you can, with where you want to do these, do it with the barn and then swap the walls out afterwards. I did it so that these walls match and these walls match, so that you have the plaster on both sides, on the inside, so you don't have this sort of mismatch. We do not need one here. We need to add top wall arches. This part of the building has top wall arches that face this way. I've lost my top wall arch. So we'll put those front and back. This one here is going to go on this way. Now we are going to put that one on, because this is double walled, we can put it on this side. And the reason for this is because when we put the roofs on, this brick will be hidden. So I'm going to put the roofs on. I'm going to use the Pine Barren set. Like so. Now, if you do not have a flamer trap, just put these roofs on here. You might want to swap these around so they're the same colour, they're going the same way. But you can just put these roofs on here and just use top wall arches to fill this gap. If you want to do the valley, just continue it on like that for one roof. We are going to flatten the roof out like so, and we are going to flamer trap this. Now it will probably destroy those top wall arches. We can repair them at the end. Or you could put roofs on this side just to put your flamer trap. It's up to you, whichever way you want to do it. If you're short on resources, we'll do this. I'm going to flatten that one out. We can remove it afterwards. We don't need it there for the build. Going to get our flamer trap. I can hear a scorched officer. I always power up my flamer trap. You don't have to. You can just go up to it and press A or whatever the select key is, interact key. I do it so I don't have to come out of build camera. Try and get this roof without getting the wall. Should be alright. Right, there we go. Take that off. Can put these back up because we didn't use them in the flat position. And now what we're going to do is we are going to, it's weird that that one's kind of invisible. We are going to add fascias, and they will attach to the broken roof. It's just easier doing it now. And we want them facing that way so that the plaster side is facing you. It means the stony side will be hidden. Now we're going to put the roofs on this side. They can be a bit of a pain to get in. And that is the roof. And it is important that you do it this way. And the reason is, when I first thought, oh, I'll put a valley in, I just sort of did it in a particular order. And then I had to take a piece off. And then, so I actually worked out the easiest way that it would all work. Now, look at it now, right? Go to your camp widget. Repair all. Now look at it. That is a double valley. And if you look at it on the inside, the reason I put these fascias in, they fill that gap. The one thing, because this wall is the wrong way round, you will have that strip of plaster shown, but I don't think it looks too wrong. I mean, if you wanted to get rid of that, or you wanted to, you could always just double wall this piece here, but that's if you've got a flamer trap. Right, we got some finishing off to do. We need a few more top wall arches, one here, one here. As I said, if you don't have this set, I'm just wondering, because this roof is complete, you can just take the wall out, so put a temporary wall in there if you do not have the set and you're going to use pillars and fences. But obviously only do it once the roof is all complete. We need top wall arches here and here. And then we will get these roofs on here. Go on. And that is pretty much the basics. We're just going to add some of the pavilion set to finish off. I'm going to put this one back, and I'm going to put another one underneath it here, and then we will have the two without. Make sure that they're lining up. Walls will, if you can see, they will go in two positions because they'll go on the edge of either foundation. So make sure that they are on this foundation, so push them inwards, and then they will line up with the top. That is pretty much the house built, apart from the bathroom. Good save there, Lucy. The bathroom is very simple. Place a foundation. Place 3 half walls all the way around. Add top wall arches and add your roof. And that is the bathroom. Have a look round and see if there's any. Right, we did not double wall this wall. You can double wall that one as well, so that you have plaster all on the inside. Just go straight in. This wall we've already double walled. So windows are all in the correct places. The last thing we need to do up here, as you can see there's a gap. We need a couple of half walls up there. I forgot. So if you do not have the pavilion set and you want to fill this area in, just grab some fences. I only found out yesterday that Nora has got the paddock gate but doesn't seem to have the paddock fence, unless this is another weird glitch from Bethesda, but I don't think so. You can use the base fences, I'm going to use these barbed wire ones. Put the fences on before you put the pillars on, because the pillars will go through the fences. If you can't get a fence on, it might intersect with this wall. Try and make sure that you pull it out a little bit, which is why I moved that one slightly off centre. Pillars. I have a very easy blueprint for pillars. The main reason people get this wrong, you need 2 pillars. Even if you're only using one, you just take the top one off. But to make the blueprint work, you need 2 pillars. The top one will go through stuff. I'll put a link to my video on this down below. Just put that in there. Then we'll put one here. I got attacked by stingwings. They killed me when I logged in. Right, there we go. We do actually want the top pillars, so got to put a fence down here, but it'll go on. That's what it looks like with pillars and fences. Obviously you can use the base fences, whatever you want. I find these ones a little bit... as I said, I did want to use the paddock fences, but I just don't appear to have them, which is weird because I have done Safe and Sound loads of times on this character. If anyone wants to donate the paddock fence to me, please let me know. I play on Xbox, if you haven't figured that out yet. I got so fed up telling people all the time that I don't play on PC that I've started putting it on my thumbnails. So, and I am an Xbox ambassador, although I don't actually do much, to be honest, because I just don't have the time or energy. Right, so I'll just take these off a sec. The pavilion piece is back on. I was just going to show you, it's entirely optional if you have this. I did put a couple of these pavilion pieces in here, just to give the room, break up the room slightly because it's very long and thin. It did occur to me that you could put them here as well. Sort of to break up the kitchen. But I don't know. We don't have a top wall arch. I don't know if it look right, wrong or not. It's up to you. Whatever you fancy. Don't need this foundation. If you get a tree coming through here, just put a floor object on it. I usually use rocks if you have them, but a pumpkin, put a crop over it, whatever you want. So the tree was somewhere around here. I mean, obviously it's easier to do if the tree is actually there. Add some stairs, whichever one you like. I did put a fence around, just around the boundary of the house. You could extend it to include the wood pile. I quite often get attacked by flying things here like stingwings, so they won't keep them out. It's up to you. I did show you how to do fences in the woodcutter's cottage and other videos, so I'm not going to show you how to do the whole fence thing. It's fairly straightforward. Finishing up, I guess, I I use this tile, and I use this everywhere on the downstairs. And a terracotta tile. I like this floor. I did not use wallpaper, but it did occur to me the other day that this might look nice with the yellow wallpaper. If you think about the base colours of things, now obviously this floor is orange, so it's very warm colour. This plaster has sort of a blue-grey tint, so it's not very warm. So if you want, add wallpaper, maybe the cream or the yellow. I might wallpaper it, the one I've got. Be aware that if you have wall objects, I'll show you quickly. Let's put this blackboard up. Firstly, it's much easier to place wall objects out of build camera mode. It really doesn't like wall objects. And the other thing is, be aware that if you've got things on your walls, when you add wallpaper, it will remove everything. So I quite like that. It's up to you. So I think we're pretty much there. If you've got any questions or comments, please let me know down below. I really like this house. I'm probably going to try and keep this house at least for a while. I do need to get some more atoms so I can buy some more camp slots. But hopefully the scoreboard will provide some anyway. I'm about level 60, rank 60 at the moment. So that is all from me today. Thank you for watching.